Anything about what we're about to do?
No, I figured you'll tell me everything until, let me zoom in a bit here. You will tell me everything that I need to know. And I will open my mouth and say some things here and there.
That's perfect, dude. It could be I'll look for an out at after about 10 minutes. Could be like one scene, regular, like real time. It could be
Yeah.
many scenes, whatever you want to play, pretty much.
Yeah, I was impressed with the number of suggestions that came in.
Oh
That's a
my
good feeling seeing all those people suggest them.
dude, there are so many different suggestions. We have a
I
ton of
know.
them. And then yeah, and then afterwards I'm just gonna ask you like how you got into improv and have a little
Sure,
discussion if you don't mind about that.
I will be glad to reveal all my shallowest secrets.
All right, so let's see here. Bump, bump, bump. 1, 2, 3. All right, buddy. We've got pick a number between 1 and 69.
Well, it's a number which has popped up a few times as a good random number when you don't roll a 547.
Great. Good old number 47. Let's see. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go from 69 down to 47. All right, 69, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, do a binary search,
59, 4, 3, 2, 1, 50, 49, 48. All right. So this comes from Jay Graigory, who is in New York. And our suggestion here is misophonia.
Misophonia.
Yeah. Which
I know about the sound of music, but that's the sound of soup.
okay. Then that's what we'll go with. Misophonia. Thanks, Jay Graigory.
Okay. I think you're boiling that soup for too long. It's not going to taste good.
I know it's been I mean it's pretty much like the liquid's all gone.
And what is that on the bottom? It looks sort of green and speckled.
Yeah, I put
It
pesto
looks
in it.
it looks delicious.
You want to try some? It's like
Yeah, give me a spoon, please.
yeah, let me. Oh, you want to go right out of the pot? Hell yeah. Take it, Frank. Here.
I have no matter. You know me, I have no matter whatsoever. Sure. Wow.
What do you think?
This is awesome. What do you call it?
Well, right now I'm just calling it pasteurized. Like it's when I just reduce the pesto down to nothing. So it's a pesto. It's like a base right now.
Oh, this is a pestilence.
Yes, it's a pestilence. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm calling it a pestilence. I'm calling it Frank's pestilence right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really great. And that, you've been having trouble getting people, but if you start selling this, you are going to stay in business forever.
My God, forever?
Well, at least could I join with you and take over when you die?
Frank, you could take over right now. I got a huge fear of success. As soon as you said you could stay open, I was like, I got a little nervous about that. Why don't you sign on? Why don't you?
Yeah, I
don't.
Sometimes I feel that way. It's like, I start things, I don't finish them. I have a phrase which I've used.
What's your phrase?
So I just sometimes, and
yeah,
my grade is incomplete because I don't do a lot of the things I start.
Oh, well, see, then I think we'll make a good team. Hey, can I be honest with you?
Because maybe if you, sure.
I actually didn't just invite you over here to try the soup.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Proceed.
And I didn't invite you over to talk about going to mom and dad's. I invited you over because I was hoping that you'd want to take over half of this place.
Oh, you mean the eatery?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have half the eatery if you want. You can have half the arcade, like the half of the dry cleaner, whichever one. I want you to take over half of everything. I drew up some papers. So I want you to sign it over,
Oh,
partner with me. Yeah, I don't want you to
that's
wait
a,
till I'm dead. I want you to do it
oh,
now.
that's a lot of responsibility. You know, I've always dodged responsibility.
Oh, you're king of dodging responsibility.
It went right over my shoulder. Yeah, you know, just like in the Matrix.
Watch out. Here comes some responsibility. Frank, take the red pill for responsibility or the blue pill for no responsibility.
I don't want any of them. No pills for me.
Hey, I'm gonna leave this here for a second. I'm gonna go get us something to drink. All right, you just
Okay.
Read over it.
Okay.
Here, take your time. Here you go.
All right, I'll read it.
Read it, and then if you want to sign, that's great. When I come back, just put it face down on the table. When I come back, the decision will be made. We won't even talk about it anymore. All right. When I come back, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm going to get some drinks.
Ooh, wow. All this stuff. And also 2 upstairs apartments. Wow.
I guess just call me back in. I feel like I want
Yeah.
to in, but I don't. I want you.
I mean, I didn't know you.
Decide if you want to sign it or not. Just
I don't
when
know.
you're done, call me.
I didn't know you had all this stuff. Wow.
Yeah, read through it if you want it, because I mean, I'm not getting younger. So
yeah, neither am I. We unfortunately, well, that's the way it goes, of course. If we were, we'd be doing something else.
We'd be doing a Benjamin.
But yeah, what the hell? I will sign.
Really?
Signed. Here we go.
Wow. God,
that's a lot of responsibility. Does this mean I'm gonna have to grow up?
Well, I mean, I guess, Frank, that's up to you. I mean,
I know. I mean, you know, it's like the old saying goes, you know, if growing up were fun, I would have done it a long time ago.
That's so true. Hey, I don't want you to change. I just want you to, I mean, I always feel like, you know, you're my little brother. I got to take care of you.
Yeah, I know.
The way I can take care of you.
Yeah, right. I know. I always appreciate it. You know, you always protected me when I was little from those bullies.
You don't have to do you don't have to involve yourself in any of the day-to-day operations of this. Okay. You can just keep doing what you're doing. But I just, you know,
I noticed that you also have 2 apartments upstairs here.
Yeah.
Could I move into one of them?
Well, it's funny you say that because
you just happen to have
a lease. Sign here. Do you want to move in upstairs? Take a look at the lease. Here, take a look at the lease. Okay, got it. Now, whether you sign it or not, it's up to you. Just call me back in. I'm still going to go get those drinks. Call me whether you've signed it or not, but when you want me to come back in, just take a look at it. Okay. As you can see, I mean, I don't even know why I'm having you sign the lease. I'm not going to ask for your rent anyway, but go ahead, just read through it. There's just some rules and things like that. I'll be right back.
Okay. I got a question. Yeah. I got a question, Irv.
Yeah.
Can I bring my dog?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Because it's hard finding places which allow pets.
Why wouldn't I let Rufus come?
I don't know. But yeah, silly question. See what I mean?
Go ahead and just.
I will sign it.
Yes.
I will sign it.
And here. Let me.
Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go.
Thank you. Here. Champagne.
Oh, wow.
Hey, to new beginnings, right?
To Frank and Irv together again at last.
Glad you're back.
This is almost as good as the soup.
Well, I chose pesto and champagne, right? It reminds me of you.
How's that?
Well, we had champagne when you went off for your round the world expedition.
Yeah,
Pesto is,
didn't quite make it all the way, but it was
you
fun
went,
while it lasted.
you went 3 towns. That's like
Yeah,
pretty much around the world. And pesto is for, that time we spent a summer in Italy.
yeah,
So
that was fun.
yeah, and
But
I
I
want
don't think St. Peter's will ever survive, will ever recover.
I want you to be around as much as you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I did not see this coming,
Yeah.
but wow, it feels good.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Scene. Yeah. Marty. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
What's up? Hey, thanks for playing with me.
Oh,
That's
thank you. That was fun.
so fun, right?
I love gentle scenes like that.
Oh, I mean, scenes where you're not going anywhere can be super
Yeah,
fun, right?
yeah,
He's like, I don't know, you're just hanging out and then you'll figure out what's going on.
right.
I kind of knew what the suggestion meant. I think it means like it's something triggering you with like the sound of I don't know if it's like drinking or eating or something, but it's like it's like an emotional trigger through sound, I think.
I didn't know what it meant either. So pesto. Misophonia, it's the sound of pesto.
Dude, I love pesto. I'm not kidding. I have pesto almost every day. It is my absolute favorite condiment.
Oh, just be a little bit. Make this a little more visible so I can give credit where credit is due.
Well, you're wearing a hoodie.
Yes. Well, no, the fact that this is the Westside Comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss them so much.
Now, where did you get started? How did you first get into improv? We met at the Westside Comedy Theater. You and I
Yes.
both were there a ton, and you're one of the unsung heroes because you used to record the shows and that's a great tool for people to learn and watch and
Yeah.
things like that.
I've recorded, I figure about 500 shows. It's 293 gig of
Whoa.
stuff.
Wow.
And it's funny the way it started. I was taking one improv class from Meindl Leatherman, one of the many good teachers there. And I thought I'd like to record that. So I bought my regular single lens reflex and I just stood in the back against the wall, but that wasn't so good. So I said, okay, the old saying that it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So I brought my regular camcorder with a little external mic and a tripod, and I walked up into the sound booth and set it up there, and I started recording. And what I would do, I would talk to all the coaches there, because that way I got to meet them in a way I never would otherwise. And I asked them, would you like me to send you the video? And they said yes. I started doing that, no permission whatsoever. After doing this maybe a year and a half, Bryce Willis, he was the manager of Westside at that time. He came up there and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm recording the shows." And he said, "Did anyone say you could?" I said, "No." But the coaches like it. So we made an agreement. This time I would have to get the permission of the coaches before I recorded the shows to come up there and do it.
Well, I mean,
and I started doing.
That makes sense, right? To get that permission for.
Yeah, eventually. And the thing about the way I did it, I didn't use HD or anything, just standard, definition, like 1280 by 720, because with that, I could send it out to people with a show took like maybe 300 megabytes. So I send it with like WeTransfer or Hightail Express, and I could just send them links by email, and then I could send it. And also the camera I used, a Sony AX53, for those of you who are interested, will let you take stills while you take video, which is how I was able to get those stills I posted as well as the video. There aren't too many cameras that do it, but it's really neat. Really neat feature. So,
and it gives you a good like scrapbook of the show, those stills.
Yeah. And so I always, posted all the shows, and I got a number of times people in the shows had said that, they use them as audition tapes.
Oh,
for just to send to places.
And that's so great. And the fact that it's like, yeah, make sure you know that it's okay before recording it is huge. But I think a lot of people are like for me, I remember you were generous enough to give your time as well. And there were times even where you would say like, hey, if Fitz wants to do it, I've got a class, but he can pick up the equipment. So you were very generous in offering that equipment to people.
Yeah, he did just fine. Yeah.
And it helps because we don't want to watch ourselves, but that's how you get better.
Yeah.
Did you watch
it? And you mentioned the way it got started. Okay. As you may notice, I'm older than most of the people doing improv. It just happens. Anyway, so I got laid off, and I turned that into retirement. And after I was doing things like going to open mic poetry meetings, because I like to write poetry. And that's when I first got, fairly comfortable being in front of people performing. And I decided, well, I'd like to do something more. So it's a choice between improv and stand-up. And I'm really awkward socially. My wife and son are so much better, so I decided improv was what I needed.
It's true though. You find so many people who are also feeling the same way, of that sense of awkward.
And so I looked up for improv on the West Side, since I live in Westchester, just north of LAX, and there was Westside Comedy Theater. I phoned, so I called up, when is your next beginning class? And I found, and so it was like January of 2013. So I started taking there, and I did that. What's funny is that, okay, I went through levels 1 through 6. Level 6 was Levin O'Connor. And that's how I got hooked up going to Annie and Levin's Now Studios.
Yeah.
Which were really great classes there. And there I learned things like viewpoints and other stuff. And then I said, but I told them I felt, I'm not really getting this. So they let me go through it again, second time, starting at level 2.
Wow.
And then, because I wanted to stay connected to Westside, and I don't know why, maybe because I'm not that good an improviser, but I never was able to be chosen to be on a team. Never. I would have liked, I went to all sorts of auditions, never did it. So.
Well, I tell people this story all the time. A friend of mine was in Tina Fey's beginning level classes at Second City in Chicago. And after it was like A through E. And then after E, you can audition to get into the conservatory, to where you do more improv and write sketch and stuff. And she was the only one in the class not to get in.
Ooh.
Of all the people. So imagine that. Tina Fey, who is, been doing comedy for such a long time, such an institution in comedy, was told by a bunch of people, oh, you're not what we're looking for. And everybody else in her class got in, dude. So I never hold stock in audition. They can sting, it can hurt me when you're not chosen for something. But at the end of the day, especially with virtual now, you can just reach out to people and you don't have to go through those.
I know. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's the only good thing about this societal catastrophe, which is really what the pandemic has been to so many people. Millions of people, especially people who deal like in the entertainment industry, poof.
Yeah.
And so all these theaters closing and everything associated with them, like even like the people who work at the bars, or the people who just sweep it up, and as well as the people who actually entertain. You have the high levels, like people who are on Broadway, they're earning a couple $100,000 a year. Suddenly their shows are closed.
Yeah.
But this, I've been able to do more improv, and I've also been doing acting as well than I ever have before. Like for acting, I think you had pointed the thing about the Anthony Meindl Actors Workshop. Yeah. And I went to, that with, so I got to meet, Summer Austin and Lindsay Frame, went to a number of classes there. And like, I've also, like the place I first started doing acting, which is after I'd been doing improv for about 3 years, at the Santa Monica Playhouse,
Sure.
their workshop. By the way, can I put in a plug for them?
Yeah, you just did. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. The Santa Monica Playhouse has an actors workshop where the people in the workshop essentially create their own plays. They decide what it's going to be about. And then Evelyn Rudy, who's the co-director, from that input writes a play, and then Chris DiCarlo directs and produces it. And so there's a new play produced every single workshop.
Wow.
And the next one starts April 1st. So look up Santa Monica Playhouse. If you want to try acting, it's great. And that's my plug for them. I've done 15 of those.
What? 15?
Because I started back in 2016. Since 2016, and 4 of those a year.
Wow. Well, Marty, if people want to follow what you're doing or connect with you online, what's the best way they can do that?
Well, probably through Facebook, Facebook, or, and then I've often posted my email address various times, but Facebook is probably the best thing. And like I say, April 4th is when the next actors workshop starts at the Santa Monica Playhouse, and I'm going to be there. And the thing is, there's people there who I've been doing this now for 5 years or so. So wow. And it's like, it's a family type thing, and I really miss doing stuff in person. But the fact that I've been taking like classes from the nursery and the Maydays in England. I've been taking, Anthony Meindl's Actors Workshop, which is originally based out of Chicago, taking class. Like I was in a class out of the nursery there, and in a breakout room this is for learning how to sing, which I desperately need because of my singing voice. And it was myself, someone from England, and someone from India for whom it was about noon here. It was about 2 a.m. there.
Yep. Yeah.
So you get these people from all over the world, and it's, for me, since I'm retired, it hasn't been that much of a pain. But I really empathize with the people who are struggling to get by.
Yeah, it's good to see people like from all over the world, right? It's good to meet those people and see them and hang out with them.
Yeah. Boy, and they have really good English accents, yes.
Well, I mean, it just shows you that we can shrink the world and it can become a lot smaller and you can meet people all over. And Marty, I can't thank you enough. And whether it's in person or virtual, I can't wait to play with you again. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jay. As I say, I'm honored and very happy to have been here with you. Thank you.
All right. See you, buddy.